show, everybody. The Raiders return home to Allegiant Stadium, where they do have a winning record there, and they take on the Colts, hoping to get back on track. Welcome in. I'm Theoharis, along with James Jones. But JJ, you have to start with a sense of urgency. That's something we haven't seen in the past couple of games. No doubt they need to go out there with the fight in them. Yeah. We saw Buda Baker on Hard Knocks, right? Getting his team fired up. I hate losing. That's the attitude we need to see out there.
And hopefully somebody in our locker room did that, right? Because number one, you coming back home after giving up a 17-point lead. You're able to play in front of your home crowd, in front of your Raider fans, and be able to start this game fast. And like you say, come out with a sense of urgency. We need to see people flying around on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball, making plays. This game right here, we know what the Colts are dealing with over here. This is a get-right game for the Raiders to be able to get some confidence and really beat somebody down if they come out with that sense of urgency.
I love that stat at the bottom. 31 points a game this season at home. They're going to need to score early and score often, but they're going to be without some of their weapons. JJ, it was a very busy week as far as transactions are concerned. They have two of their big playmakers go on the IR. No Darren Waller, no Hunter Renfrow. Devon Diablo goes on the IR as well. Jonathan Abram is released, and then Blake Martinez announces his retirement a week after he leads the team in tackles. So losing two big playmakers on offense, and then on defense, three guys that are really good tacklers, which is an area that the defense can improve upon.
Yeah, and that's scary, right? Because we're talking about a defense, right, that is already struggling giving up points and struggling getting off the field on third down. And you better believe the Indianapolis Colts with Jeff Saturday over there, they are going to come out running the football. You got two of your best linebackers out, so Perriman and those other guys are going to have to step up. The corners, the safeties, this is going to have to be a collective effort for the whole defense, tackling to win the game. If you don't tackle, you're not going to win, because it's going to be a heavy dose of Jonathan Taylor.
And then we've been saying this is an opportunity for Hunter Renfrow to have a big game, and then he's not available. So other guys are going to step up. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the show. A lot of people are underestimating the Colts because they've had a tumultuous week as well. They fire Frank Reich, and then in a bizarre move, Jeff Saturday, the former Colt great lineman, is named the head coach. And so he's been defending his hiring while he's trying to get ready for the Raiders. It was bizarre.
Yeah, I don't know if it's any defending that hiring right there, you know what I mean? I played with Jeff Saturday with the Green Bay Packers. I played with Jeff. Jeff is a great dude, right? But I'm 100% positive that it is plenty of qualified guys in that Indianapolis coaching staff. Yes, you got Reggie Wayne over there. But, you know, for me, this is letting everybody know kind of like, are we tanking it? Because we have guys qualified. We have guys know what Frank Reich was preaching, what this team needs, that's already in the building. And you go get a guy that was coaching high school football to come in here and basically tell these other coaches, y'all not going to get the job done either. I'm bringing in a guy from the high school ranks. That's disrespectful, right?
Yeah,
but,
especially when you have two former head coaches on your staff as well. Like Gus Bradley could have coached, John Fox could have coached, but no, they go with Jeff Saturday. And in an even more bizarre move, who's going to call the plays, right, was the first question. Parks Frazier. If you don't know his name, you're not alone. This guy, 30-year-old Parks Frazier, has been named the interim offensive coordinator. He was an assistant quarterbacks coach, never called plays before in the NFL. So I imagine that he's going to turn around and hand the ball off to Jonathan Taylor.
You better believe it. 40 plus times, right? So, you know, the only way he cannot hand it off to Jonathan Taylor 40 plus times is if we do what we do at home, and that's put up points fast and score in a hurry and force Sam to be able to throw this football. But this guy, he's coming into a really, really bad offense and a really, really bad situation. The only positive thing in there is that he has Jonathan Taylor. But if you look right here, I mean, last, and dang near last in red zone. You know, so this is a really bad offense. I do not see it changing this week, especially, like I said before, if we tackle and get off the field on third down, it's going to be a long game for the Colts.
And Sam Ehlinger, he is a young quarterback that is going to get an opportunity to make his third start. The first two starts, JJ, did not go well. We remember the matchup with the Patriots. He was sacked 9 times. 9 times he was sacked against the Patriots. This is 2 games. Through his first 2 starts, he's only averaging 152 passing yards per game.
But look at that nugget, though. He ain't threw a touchdown pass yet. Sacked 11 times and 2 turnovers, right? This is the Raiders defensive line. The Raiders defense should be licking their chops right now to be able to get after Sam and go after there and get some takeaways and some sacks.
On the flip side, you don't want to be the get-right team that this young quarterback gets his first touchdown against. But Jonathan Jonathan Taylor is going to be a big part of this offense. He hasn't been. He's been a disappointment this season, only played in 6 games, but when he's out on the field, he's effective.
Yeah, and that's the scary part, right? Because we were saying the same thing about King Henry before we played him, right? He was in a slump, 2 yards of carry and all that. Then he kind of got healthy against the Raiders, right? So this is one of these games that really scare you, and you really got to understand that they still have good players. A good offensive line. He is still capable of making really good runs, explosive runs, breaking runs for touchdowns. We cannot let him get going, because I promise you, all Jeff Saturday will want is to keep this game close and give the ball to 28 and have a chance in the fourth quarter. We got to make sure that that don't happen.
And you mentioned Derrick Henry. It's not just him. Other running backs have had their get-right game against the Raiders. Damian Pierce had a big game. Alvin Kamara. Then even last week we saw Travis Etienne. So stopping the run is going to be very important. But it's an opportunity for the Raiders defense to get after this young quarterback. As we said, 9 sacks against the Patriots, which is kind of surprising considering the offensive line has guys like Ryan Kelly and Quentin Nelson. This is a veteran offensive line, but against the Patriots, didn't hold.
And if you're watching it, what I hate that the Raiders do is rush 4. But as you watch the Patriots right here, they are just rushing 4 guys, and they're getting after the quarterback. So that lets me know that this offensive line in pass protection is struggling. You see right here, just straight around off the edge. We know we got a guy on our team that's coming off that edge as well, and Max Crosby. So this is a game to where I see the Raiders can really get healthy, can really get some confidence, can really find some things that they really do well, and move on to the next game. But get this one done. You got to come out. And we started the show with urgency. You got to come out with urgency.
And don't underestimate your opponent. Since 2015, interim head coaches have come in. They've gone 10-6 in their first start. It's a shot in the arm. Jeff Saturday's a good speaker. You know the message is out there. When we come back, we're going to hear from our own head coach, Josh McDaniels. He talks about that Colts defense, which is top 5 right now. The Silver and Black Show is brought to you by Cox, proud partner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, non-stop flights. Book now only at Allegiant.com. 1800, the best taste in tequila and official partner of the Raiders.
Wilson to the end zone, and it's intercepted by Gilmore. Oh, man.
Linebackers are very fast, very athletic. 2 of them are in the top 10 in tackles. And then the secondary boasts 2 Pro Bowl corners, so in Gilmore and Moore. So overall, you can see why their unit is highly ranked. They play well together. Gus has done a great job, like he always does, of getting them to play connected on every snap. And it's going to take some discipline and toughness. They don't give up many, short drives. We're going to have to continue to move the ball forward, make positive plays, and ultimately, hopefully, finish in the red zone.
Coach McDaniels looking to get the win back home at Allegiant Stadium, going up against the Colts. And as he said, it's kind of a sneaky good defense, and they were playing a lot better since Darius, who used to be Darius Leonard, he's now Shaq Leonard. Anyway, you could call him MANIAC, one of the best players in the NFL.
No doubt.
He came back and was able to kind of give a spark to that defense. You can see.
I mean, just look at it. I mean, 83 yards rushing, right? That's big, right? That's basically telling opponents when 53 is in the middle of that defense, you are not running the football. Tackles for loss, second in the National Football League with 8, right? This defense has really good football players, and it starts up front with their front 7. You got Buckner, you got Shaq. Like, these guys can play football. This is a big blow for this Colts defense to not have 53 in the middle of that defense.
Yeah, it was announced on Friday that he is ruled out. So that is a big break for this guy right here. He's not going to have to account for number 53. Josh Jacobs needs to have a big game. He has had kind of an off game the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, and this is our tone setter, right? And this should be the game plan coming into this game, right? This guy needs to set the tone. Josh Jacobs and this O-line, the Cookie Monsters, got to come out and set this tone. No 53, no Shaq Leonard in the middle. Give the ball to 28 and get him in a rhythm early in this ball game. He has shown you that he's not going to get tackled by one guy. He ain't been tackled by one guy all season long. Finishing runs, violent, get 28 going, because when 28 is going, this Raiders offense is going.
And look, weeks 4 through 7, the guy's averaging 147 yards a game. He has 6 touchdowns, 6.4 yards per carry. And then the last 2 games, 55 yards?
Yeah.
55 yards a game and no touchdowns. He needs to get in the end zone, and especially, they were up 17-0 last week going into the second half. They had an opportunity to keep, well, it was 20-10 going into the second half.
Yeah, and you want to get in games like that, right? Whenever you're able to create some explosive plays with Davante Adams and Derek Carr and get up, everybody should be looking on the sideline like, 28, you ready? Because it's your time. Like, it's your time. So they need to get back to giving him the rock.
Yeah, because when he gets going, what happens? You got to stack the box, right?
Yep.
And then you got another guy, your homie, Davante Adams,
Come on now.
sitting out there. But the matchup of the week against the Colts, going up against Stephon Gilmore. He is not to be played with.
Say it again.
Stephon Gilmore is the real deal. And one-on-one, he's faced Davante Adams before. They know each other.
He's faced Davante Adams, and Davante Adams is my dog. He's faced Davante Adams and locked him down. I speaks the truth on here. He has locked Davante down, right? But D.A. my dog. D.A. the best receiver in the National Football League. He will get him back, right? And this is one of those games, right? No Hunter Renfrow, right? No Darren Waller. The only guy we have to stop on the outside is what the Colts is looking at right now is Davante Adams. We're going to put our best player on him, and that's Stephon Gilmore. You better believe he is going to follow him everywhere. And he did the last time they played. When D.A. was on the Packers and Gilmore was on the Patriots, you see right here, D.A. at the number 3 receiver, Stephon Gilmore still with him right here. D.A. tried to run a corner route, Stephon Gilmore underneath it, bats the ball down. That's 1 for Stephon Gilmore. Now the Packers try to help D.A. out a little bit. Let's get in stack formation, right? What that does is force Gilmore to have to play off so you don't got to deal with any pick routes. They throw a quick screen. He makes the tackle 6 yards down the football field. We'll say that's 1-1. Right? Then right here, mano-a-mano, off coverage, inside leverage, what these corners do. D.A. come off the ball, 4-5, hips in the ground, ball out, catch made, break a tackle. Let's get a little bit of yak, right? But then people need to understand how smart Stephon Gilmore is because this is corner play. Knowing Davante Adams is on a tight split, right? So when he goes on this out route, I'm not going to break on that out route yet. I'm going to stay over the top of you. Now Davante Adams has to play DB and bat that ball down because Stephon Gilmore read that route. And then the Packers try to help him out again, right? Really good route by D.A. Now we're going to hit you with the out and up, but we're going to hit you with the out and up and stop, right? D.A. hit him with the stop, wide open, 12 got to make that throw. He doesn't make that throw. But the bottom line is Stephon Gilmore going to see a lot of Davante Adams. Davante Adams is going to see a lot of Stephon Gilmore, and it is going to be a battle. Tune in. It's going to be fun to watch.
It's been 4 years since that game. That was 2018, Week 9. By the way, 6 targets when Davante and Gilmore were matched up one-on-one. 2 catches.
Ooh, locked.
2 catches. So
Tay, you here? They said you locked down, Tay.
He's ready. He said, give me the ball. He's a volume receiver. That's what he said. Give me the ball. You got it. No matter if I'm in double coverage, keep giving it to me. But the Colts defense is very familiar. It's going to look very familiar because of Gus Bradley. Yeah. He was the defensive coordinator here with the Raiders last year. Now, he's got these guys balling out, a top 5 defense.
The only wins they have is strictly because this defense has willed them to victory, right? So that's really the only chance they got in this game, too, to run the football and be able to get the Raiders off of the football field on 3rd down. And they can if the Raiders do not come out there and play. And the thing about this that scares me is Gus knows Derek. He's been in the building with Derek. He's been here. Yeah, he knows what Derek likes. He knows what Derek doesn't like, right? Training camp all the time. I'm scheming for Derek Carr. We're trying to make sure our defense get right. So that's scary because he's going to know how to play Derek, and Derek's going to have to make adjustments on the fly.
You could say Derek knows Gus. We got to look at this
100%,
positively,
100%.
Right?
Adjustments on the fly.
He knows what's coming. Yep. All right, coming up next, we're going to sit down with Amik Robertson, big playmaker in the first quarter of the season. Can he step up when the defense needs it this week? With cornerback for the Raiders, Amik Robertson, and I know you're a Louisiana boy. You went to high school in Thibodaux, and I heard that you got an offer from LSU, but you end up going to Louisiana Tech. Explain how that goes down.
To make a long story short, in high school I was highly recruited. A lot of schools kind of, backed off of me after my junior year, turned my ATL, and Tech stayed loyal to me. So, and I knew I was going to stay in Louisiana because I had a son. You know, I had a son in high school, so I knew I was going to stay in Louisiana, but I just wanted to make the recruiting interesting, so I had all the other schools, but I knew I was going to stay in Louisiana, so it's going to be out of LSU and Tech was the school I went to, you know, and I'm glad I made the decision.
The rest is history, right? You were taken in the 4th round by the Raiders in 2020. I was looking over scouting reports. I love looking back at these old scouting reports. This was written, smallish corner with tremendous intensity, swagger, and toughness. Big receivers don't scare him. I love that part of it. Where does that fearlessness come from?
I honestly think I was just born with it. You know, I started playing football at the age of 5. They had a lot of talks with my uncle. You know, I was going to be 6'4", 6'5", whatever, so he was like, you got to play bigger.
Yeah,
you know, so
tough.
That's what I did, you know, and I looked at it as, I didn't look at it as a mismatch, whatever. Anytime I was going against bigger receivers, I looked at it as an opportunity to make plays. I knew the ball was coming my way because they thought it was a mismatch, so I just, you know, tried to put myself in position to make plays.
And now in the NFL, you've proven to be so versatile. You can play inside, nickel, outside. Where are you most comfortable?
It's crazy anywhere, you know, so playing against the Cardinals, like I said, playing against the Cardinals, I had a couple, probably about 1 or 2 TFLs, an interception, and they moved me to corner the next weekend against the Broncos. And, I mean, we all know how that.
I know. You had those big plays. You're talking about, you had the interception, you had the scoop and score, the 68-yard touchdown. You clearly have that big play instinct. Do you attribute to that ability to just pure instinct to get to the ball?
Yeah, I try to do my best. I try to always stay around the ball, you know, because that's just what I do. You know, that's how I was in college. You know, a guy that was always around the ball. So coming into the league, you know, I try to use my instincts within the scheme. You know, whatever PG calls, I try to do everything I can to always try to be around the ball to, you know, at least give us a spark.
The Colts have been through a lot. They got a new coach in Jeff Saturday, a lot of distractions, a lot of adversity. Not too different from what you guys went through in 2021.
Correct.
Because of that experience that you had last year, does it make you a little bit more weary of sleeping on these teams that are down because of what you guys were able to do and get to the playoffs?
At the end of the day, they're a great team, and they're going to play hard. No matter who their head coach is going to be, you know, and that's what Coach McDaniel said in the meeting. Like, no matter if their head coach was a assistant, whatever, those, like, at the end of the day, those guys are out there playing. You know, those guys are out there running those plays. So, and from looking at film, those guys are gonna play hard. So we can't underestimate it.
Checks into the backfield on 1st and 10 from the Raiders 42. The snap and the handoff to Gordon across the 40, down to the 35, and the ball is out. And Robertson has it in his stomach, and he's racing downfield for the Raiders. 50, 45, 40. Robertson near sideline 20, 10. Defensive touchdown, Raiders.
You know Gus Bradley. Very close to him. Raiders defensive coordinator. Now he's over there with the Colts. If you had to help out the Raiders offense, kind of give them a little scouting report about Gus Bradley defenses, what does Gus Bradley bring? I mean, he's got some players over there. You know Ngakoue. They got Darius Leonard since he's come back. They've been pretty tough.
I know a little bit about his defense, but like I said, all I can say is, you know, it's a defense that's not going to allow, you know, the offense to have too many explosive plays. So, you know, I mean, of course, you know, Coach McDaniel have a great scheme, you know, a great game plan. I'm pretty sure they're going to, you know, offense going to execute that. So I think we'll play very solid on offense.
You know that those offensive guys are like, hey, Meek, like, what's going on? Like, you know that defense tells them you got to help them a little,
We had those talks in the locker room.
I love it. Hey, you got to use all the resources, right? Last one. It is next man up on this defense right now. A lot of unexpected things happen. No more Jonathan Abram back there. Divine Diablo is on IR right now. Blake Martinez retires out of nowhere after leading you guys in tackles last week. We wish him the best of luck, but it is next man up. And what is kind of the discussions amongst this defensive group, knowing that you'll need to play better and you're missing some of your guys?
At the end of the day, like Coach McDaniel preaches, you know, like you say, next man up. You know, if one of your teammates goes down, the next man always has to be ready. And you know, the goal for this game is to whoever's next up, you know, try to do your job longer than the opponent. He always preaches it's about who gonna do their job longer. You could do your job the first half, but it's about being able to do it the whole game, and that's the team that's gonna be successful. So, you know, a lot of guys that's stepping up now, they know that. So, I mean, I expect them to step up big time, you know, when their numbers call.
And I'm hoping for you. Do it again. This week
hopefully.
At home in front of hometown fans. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
All right, thanks a lot, Amik.
The Silver and Black Show has been brought to you by Cox, proud partner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, non-stop flights. Book now only at Allegiant.com. Chevron with Techron gives you unbeatable cleaning and mileage. Chevron, together ahead.
No Waller, no Renfro, and so here are the options for Derek Carr, besides, of course, Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams. Matt Collins, Foster Moreau has been very good for the team. Keelan Cole, DJ Turner. Who do you like here? Who do you think could step up?
I'm really excited to see Keelan Cole. I think Keelan Cole could have a nice little part in this offense, right? Keelan Cole has made some big-time plays in this league, right? So I think with him out there, I think he can get some of those targets and some of them opportunities. But if it's any shaky, throw it to 17.
Get him going early
targets.
and often, but I love Matt Collins. He's going to win those one-on-one matchups simply because he's so physical. But we forgot to mention that for the Colts, you know, they've gone through a lot, but they are not out of it. The AFC South is not a strong division, so they still have something to play for because they could still potentially win the division, JJ. They're 3-5-1. They're just 2.5 games behind the Tennessee Titans.
Look at that. That's what you call boo-boo the foo-foo.
Boo-boo
right
the foo-foo
there.
is the entire South. The NFC South and the AFC South have one winning team.
But this does give you confidence. If you're the Colts, you just got a new message from Jeff Saturday, right? This does give you some confidence. You feel like you got a 2-6 Raiders team, right? We're saying it's the Raiders' time. They saying it's our time. We got a Raiders team, and we'll be one game back if we can win this game, right? So you better believe that they're going to have some confidence and come in here and expecting to win. So Raider Nation, we got to stand up. And like we said at the beginning of the show, urgency. We got to come out.
Urgency. Gus Bradley, Yannick Ngakoue, Rock Yassin, and Brandon Faison all switch teams. So it's going to be very familiar out there. Hey, we'll see you guys out at Allegiant Stadium, 1:05 kickoff, and then we'll see you right after on Raiders Game Day. For James Jones, I'm Amber Theoharis. We'll see you soon.